yourselves a big round of applause for coming out tonight. All right. So guys, I lost 50 pounds within the last year. Woo! Thank you. The reason why I did was because I got a very upsetting letter in the mail from my life insurance company. It was the only reason why. The letter said that they were dropping me from coverage because according to my BMI, I'm what's known as mythically obese. Not morbidly, mythically. Is that not the worst typo ever? Like, am I the Loch Ness Monster? Like, I'm sorry, Mrs. Moniz. Creatures of your stature typically reside deep within the forest or in the sea, like the Loch Ness Monster or Sasquatch. What the fuck? Like next time I get my license updated, I'm just gonna write Ursula the Sea Witch, underweight, keep things nice and accurate, you know? So I was trying to keep like the good momentum going with my health, going to the gym, things like that. Realized very quickly, gym people are not my people. I'm probably never going back. I was at the gym one day doing my thing on the treadmill, and this girl that worked at the gym walked by, and she was like, "Hey lady, working on your revenge bod?" I was like, what the fuck are you saying to me? My revenge bod? I've always been under the impression that a revenge bod is when like a guy dumps you and then you get like really fucking fat so that they're ashamed that they banged you. I was like, oh girl, I've been working on my revenge bod for years. Like this whole region is the guy who proposed to me at EP Lanes without a ring. This region is from the guy who just became a juggalo overnight. This area was cultivated after the guy who ghosted me and moved to Japan. Been working on my revenge bod for years. So, I am married. Yeah, there's always very limited sounds for marriage, always. My husband is a really nice guy. He forgot this rule that I think a lot of couples have, which is if you get into something that you don't want the other person to know about, just get rid of the evidence, right? And then it's like it never happened, right? So my husband forgot that rule, and I came home from work one day and I opened up our laptop and there was a video paused, one of those videos. The title was BBW Titty Dance. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn a lot about this motherfucker right now. And I clicked play, and it was a large woman, which goes without saying. I have no idea if there was a man in the video. No idea at all. And she was topless, and she was going like this. And one boob was going this way. And the other was going this way. And then they were like meeting in the middle and colliding. Like a titty crescendo. And it was very impressive. And I realized in that moment, like, this is what my husband is into. Like, that's what does it for him. Giant Christmas ham tits slapping into each other. So he'd just been going through his life, dating big boobs, until he met the biggest boobs that would accept him, And then he married those boobs. And someday he's going to ask me to do a BBW titty dance. So now I have that video bookmarked because I'm feeling a tremendous amount of pressure to learn how to do that. I still can't do it. I have no idea how to do it. So guys, I was at the doctor's office one day, and I was flipping through a women's magazine. Any of you sick motherfuckers here read like Cosmopolitan or something like that? Anybody? Yeah? So, they always have those big, long lists of sex tips that's like supposed to be like these crazy, new and inventive things. And like, I've seen quite a few of these, and I noticed that they always say that you should put your finger in your partner's asshole. Or like lick it to like surprise them. Like never tell them you're gonna do it, surprise them. And guys, those magazines have to be geared towards single women. They have to be, because like, I'm coming at you live from the streets right now, okay? I've been married for a few years, and like, I do my husband's laundry and I see his fucking underwear. That motherfucker does not know how to properly wipe his ass. There is no way. And married women know that. Married women see this. And you're like, are you fucking insane? Then there was another tip that said you should take a donut and put it around his erect penis and nibble around the donut. Like, what the fuck? And then on the next page, it's like 10 workouts to your beach body. So these fucking magazines are telling you to fucking lick your husband's asshole, and then waste a perfectly good donut, and then fucking do some squats. Fuck you, Cosmopolitan. No fucking way I'm doing that. It's trash. Don't give them your money. Don't do it. Garbage. So, I was raised Italian Catholic. Anybody else?
Yes.
Woo, yeah, woo, sure. So, and for me, being raised Italian Catholic meant, like, my parents taught me nothing about my body at all. And then they just hoped that I would be, like, really, really unfuckable. And then maybe someday I would learn how to make meatballs really well, and someone would take me off their hands. And I do know how to make meatballs really well. But what also happened was I got pregnant when I was 17 years old. So, you guys are up here and now you're way down here. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you back up again, don't worry. It gets better. So, like I said, I got pregnant when I was 17, and I told my parents right away, because every Italian Catholic knows you don't lie to your parents, you do not keep secrets from them, or Jesus is gonna fucking get you or something. So, I immediately told my parents, and they were like, okay, Elizabeth, you can't put the baby up for adoption, and you can't have an abortion. And I was like, okay guys, I completely agree. What's the third option? Like, do you guys know a witch I can make a deal with? Do either of you know how to summon Rumpelstiltskin? Like, where are we gonna go with this? Oh, you guys want me to have the kid, okay. So I did. I went through with the pregnancy, I had my son. I realized very quickly that this was back in the time, like, before teen pregnancy was cool, where like you got put on reality TV and things like that. Back when I was a teen mom, old people would just say terrible things to you in public, and then you had a baby. That was all that happened to you. So one day I was out walking around like a strip mall, I think, minding my own business, 17, super pregnant, and there was an elderly couple waiting outside a restaurant waiting to get in. And the wife saw me, and she was like, "Are you pregnant?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Are you married or engaged?" I said, "No, I'm 17. She said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." I was like, lady, like, I'm pregnant. You're waiting in line to get into an Applebee's. Who's about to have the worst time? Come on now. Really? Fucking old people, man. I love them. This is just a funny thing that happened to me recently. I was in Stop and Shop and an old man saw me and he was like, I'd like to see you catch a husband with hair like that. I was like, I have a husband. He was like, no, you don't. Oh, okay. Love old people. I have a Portuguese mother-in-law. Anybody here have a Portuguese mother-in-law? Anybody? God. So, mother-in-law jokes are kind of like hokey or whatever, but like, my mother-in-law, she's on a whole other fucking level, guys. Like, trust me when I say, she hates me. Like, she just thinks I'm this terrible fucking bitch who can't do anything right and like stole her precious baby from her. And even though like he's a grown man who doesn't know how to fucking wipe his own ass, and she doesn't see that, she's fucking insane. She, like, her house is always magazine perfect somehow, and I'm just not like that. And like, she makes this fucking food. It's like, she invites us over for dinner and it's literally like a fucking octopus in like a puddle of blood. And it looks like it's out of a fucking horror movie. It really does. And my husband sees it and he's like, yes! And I'm like, oh fuck! I can't compete with this. So, but not only does she hate me, guys, she hates me and she lets me know that she hates me. But I've also seen her tits like so many times. She just keeps showing me her tits. Like, the first time I saw them, we were camping. So I was like, okay, we're camping. She's getting a little wild, whatever. I saw her tits. I'll forget about it. Then, the second time I saw them, like, she just whipped them out. And I, like, just showed me, like, she had dry skin or something. Oh my God. Like, ugh, it was awful. And then I told my husband, and I was expecting him to be, like, shocked and appalled. And he was like, oh, she's from Europe. It's different over there. She's from Europe. Like, don't give me that shit. Like, okay, you're from Europe. That's great. Stick to your customs. That's wonderful. Speak your language. I support that. Don't show your daughter-in-law your tits. That's not okay in any country. I don't care. Like, guys, I went to her house the day before my wedding to like drop some shit off. And my father-in-law was like, oh, Maria's in the tub. She wants you to go talk to her. So I was like, okay, I'll go talk to her. And I was like, she's in the tub. She's probably like covered in bubbles. And no, I go in and she's sitting in like 2 inches of water. Like a fucking big leathery baby. Just sitting there in the tub wanting me to talk to her. So then the next day is my wedding. It's my wedding night. I'm laying on the bed. My husband comes in, takes his shirt off. All I could see was his mother's tits. They're very similar. Oh my God. So, I have 2 kids. Yeah, kids are great. My oldest decided one day that he wanted to be a rapper. So I was like, oh, that's great, I support that. You want to be a rapper? That's beautiful, put your poetry out into the world. That's a beautiful, wonderful thing. So he really stuck with it, he committed to it, and I was seeing like all of this paper in his room, and he was like really getting into it. So I was in his room one day, like cleaning and sorting through stuff, putting his laundry away, and there was a piece of paper on the floor. So I said, oh, that's probably one of his little raps. I'm gonna read it. Can't wait to see what it says. Verbatim for you tonight. The rap my son wrote. Took my bitch to Flavortown. She call my dick Guy Fieri. Why? Why did she call your dick that? Blew my load up in her mouth. Hope she ain't allergic to dairy. It's very obvious to me now that I am a terrible fucking parent. That ship has sailed to fucking Flavortown. Disgusting. I should have aborted you when I had the chance. No, I didn't say that. So, like I said, I am a mom now. I have 2 children. Realized very quickly that something happens to women after they have more than 1 child, and that is that they pee their pants all the fucking time. Always peeing my pants, constantly. When I sneeze, when I laugh, when I cry, if I happen to throw up, I pee my pants. It's what happens. So I went to the doctor, because I was like, okay, something has to be wrong, like obviously, like my fucking vagina's destroyed. I'm just peeing my pants, like, can't tell my husband, because, you know, like, no matter how much you love your significant other, you worry he's gonna do the guy thing where he's like, yeah, my fucking 5.5-inch white boy dick fucking wrecked your vagina. It's peeing everywhere now. Fucking awesome. So, I just went to the doctor, and I was like, my doctor was like, it's not your vagina. Your vagina's in great shape. It's your pelvic floor. Like, your undercarriage. I was like, my what? He's like, yeah, you just need to strengthen up your undercarriage a little bit. I was like, can you say undercarriage to me one more time? Because I've never felt more like a fucking Pontiac Bellevue in my entire life. Undercarriage. He said, I'm going to refer you to the pelvic floor clinic. I said, oh, the pelvic floor clinic, that sounds like a wonderful place. I would go to the pelvic floor clinic. So I went to the pelvic floor clinic, and I was a little bit late. And I go up to the door, and I look in, and it's just tons of older women on all floors on the floor thrusting in unison. I was like, are they summoning the devil in there? What the fuck is going on? It looked like the Ensign Hereditary or some bullshit. Fucking awful. I said, I'm just gonna pee my pants forever. I'm out of here. Awful. So, one day I came home from work. I was relaxing on the couch watching some TV, you know, the way people do. My youngest son comes into the room completely naked from head to toe and screaming, Mom, my ball is missing. My ball is missing. I don't know what happened to it, Mom. It's gone. It's just missing. So some of you are like, okay, his ball was missing. Did he kick it over the neighbor's fence? Did he lose it? What happened to his ball? But being that he was completely naked and within about 2 inches of teabagging me while he was screaming this, I knew which ball he was talking about. So I said, okay, let's retrace your steps. Your ball is missing. He said, Mom, my ball is really missing, Mom. It's gone. It's missing. So, I reached out, and some of you are ahead of me, and I checked his little satchel, and it was empty on one side. So put yourself in my shoes. You're cradling a young boy's scrotum, and it is deflated on one side, legitimately. So I said, okay, buddy, you stay right here. I'm gonna go in the other room and I'm gonna call your dad and we're gonna get to the bottom of this, okay? You stay right here. So I go in the other room, I get on the phone, I call my husband, I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on. You need to get home right now. One of Maverick's balls is fucking missing, okay? Don't ask me how it happened. It's missing. I touched it. It's missing. I don't know. Okay, you need to go home right now. He's like, baby, relax. It's not that big a deal. Little boys can push their balls up into their body. I said, what now? I said, yeah, you know, he was probably like messing around down there, and he got a little rough. You can push them up there. Tell him to relax, and it'll drop back down. I said, motherfucker, what the fuck are you saying to me? He's like, really, baby, calm down. It's not that big a deal. I said, you keep saying this to me, but let's say hypothetically speaking, I was doing a BBW titty dance for you. And in the middle of it, I was just like, and I pushed one of my boobs into my body, and it was just like an empty, floppy titty bag, just dangling there. You wouldn't freak out? Bullshit! His ball did drop back down. That's it for me, everybody. Thank you so much.